Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So this is being recorded on July 3rd for the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July everyone. I hope you're having a great time, seeing fireworks, parades, spending time with friends and family, or just relaxing and kicking back. There's something to be said for, staying in your pajamas and watching Netflix. So if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, leave me a comment. If you're interested in membership, this month we are looking at spirit animals. It'll be recorded, so no matter what time zone you're in, it will be there for you. Same thing with answering your questions with the messages from spirit and the angel tarot. That will be recorded. So that way, no matter, because I have a lot of people in Australia, Asia, England, on the West Coast, people that work, the night shift. So that's the way of making it fair. The channelings will be live. And I'm also adding 2 new levels of membership. One will be, and both are under $5. One will be the Meet Your Spirit Guide class. And the other one is going to be how to live with more joy. So for those of you that are having stress and anxiety right now, this will be an inexpensive way for you to get into membership and let go of some of that stress and negativity. So I'm continuing with answering your questions, and I'm going to pick up where I left off. Okay, Mariel asks, will Leonard Peltier get out of prison? Okay, so he is the Native American that was accused of killing the 2 FBI agents, right? And he's been in prison, I think, since 75. Let's take a look. I've actually never read on him, so let's take a peek. I mean, that's a long time. I mean, that's actually longer than I've been alive. So that's, and especially where there just seems to be so much evidence. The case really does need to be reopened for real. So here he is, 3 of Wands, waiting for his ship to come in. He's still waiting. He's, going strong. He's hanging in there. Obstacle, 9 of Cups. Obviously, he's not happy, right? I mean, that's the card of happiness, contentment. So yeah, no, he's waiting for a ship to come in and he's feeling kind of miserable right now. But that also tells me too that there are people in power, right? Because that's like the smug merchant, that there's people in power with money that is, that are keeping him in there, okay? High Priestess. Interesting that we get that, because the High Priestess is about hidden agendas, secret motives. So those that are keeping him in there, there's a reason that they're doing it, and none of it's good. So it's very clandestine, in my opinion. Action. Okay, so let's take this out a little bit further. Knight of Swords. Okay, so action, followed by King of Pentacles. And if I take the card on the bottom, Knight of Wands, the card of change. If I put this all together, I get the impression that there are those with money and power that have a motive, they have an agenda, they're keeping him in there for a reason, because it would expose others, right? But then something does change. Now, most of these are slow moving, but the Knight of Swords, that is faster moving. So I'm going to say not anytime real soon, even though I know this man's been in there forever. But what I'm going to say is the truth is going to come out. Eventually the truth is coming out. Kelly asks, I know you've read on Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, before. Could I check the energies around him leaving before his term is up at the end of 2026? Yeah, I mean, you poor Floridians. I'm so sorry. Gosh. right? This is where we like need to get out and vote. Okay. Here we go. To be determined. Things have not been decided. 2 of Wands. Oof. Well, that's him. Okay, so we get the double card, right? The card of, sin, greed, licentiousness, right? So all those sort of nasty things. But also, too, the people that are backing him and keeping him in power. And if I remember correctly, this has come up before, something legal. King of Swords, because for me, the King of Swords is one of the legal cards. Okay, definitely, followed by the Judgment card. And so I am going to say something is going to happen. Let's go out again. Oh, okay. And he has this Tower moment. Interesting. So legally, he's going to have a Tower moment. So something is about to happen to him. He's not going to like any of the choices, 4 of Cups, that's put before him. A decision will be made. So something is happening here. Something is happening. Interesting. Those of you in Florida may know better than I about exactly what those things may be. Put it in the comments, let me know. But yeah, stay tuned on that one. Giselle asks, is there any chance Biden will pick another VP running mate? Yeah, I think so. We'll pull a few cards on that, but I did talk about that. I'm thinking he's being pressured. I don't think he would do it on his own, I'll be honest. I think him and Kamala have a really good working relationship. But I do think, people are now looking at the vice presidency a lot more seriously than they did before. So King of Swords, decisions being made. Okay. Okay, but it may not happen right away. Hanged Man is the obstacle. So there's going to be some kind of delay with this. And I think it's because this isn't Biden's first choice. And I don't even think it's Kamala's first choice, to be honest with you. I'm going to go out a little bit more. 9 of Cups. Queen of Wands, which has historically for me been Kamala. The Sun. Bottom of the deck here, the Emperor. So I'm going to say, if I put these cards together, Kamala has a new beginning doing something else. That's how I interpret that together. And I wouldn't be surprised, Emperor, the male coming in, and he'll be quite, pleased with that. And so, yeah, I do think that there could very well be a change with the vice presidency. Philo, I hope I'm saying your name right, asks, I keep hearing that a corner will be turned in 2025. 2024 has been devastating to democracy. For sure, right? I mean, we have definitely had this wild roller coaster. In 2025, will the Supreme Court be reined in? Yes. That I do see. I do see that. Today's ruling on immunity has me in tears and looking for another country to call home. And this is why I say, take a deep breath. All is well. Things are going to work out. Things need to play out the way that they're going to play out, okay? We don't need to start fleeing the country. And I'll be honest, you guys know that I don't mind living in another country. I don't mind living out of a suitcase. If I felt like I needed to leave the country, like I did when before 45 was elected, I left at the end of August before the election. I left, I went to Cambodia, I moved. I knew that he was getting in, and I was like, oh, he is bringing in like these apocalyptic things like famine, plague, and war, right? And we kind of had all of that. And so I'm not getting that feeling. I'm not heading for the hills. So things are going to get better. We need to let this play out. And why? I'm not even totally sure why at this moment, but it's going to have some sort of significance. And so let's collectively take a deep breath. Things are going to get better, okay? We don't need to start getting out of Dodge yet, okay? Oracle. Echoing another voice here, I'd also like to know about the immunity that SCOTUS has put into place and how it'll affect. Okay, so a lot of you guys, and I answered that in the last one. So my biggest thing is that what it's really going to do is put a delay on a lot of 45s, trials, sentencings, things like that. I don't think it's going to make them completely go away. Some things he'll be excused from, but not everything. But I'm seeing more of a delay, unfortunately. Frida, I know you did a video on the Karen Reed trial, but the verdict has come back as a hung jury, right? It was a mistrial. I mean, how anybody could find that woman guilty. And for those of you that don't live around here, you know, that state police officer is also part of another very highly suspect, high profile case here. And I mean, the way he talked about her, I mean, you don't talk about women that way, especially as, you know, a police officer. And also too, that is the state police. That was them that ran that scam not that long ago, where they put in all that overtime and they took all the money from the state, and a lot of them were let go. I mean, I do predict that, you know, Officer Proctor will be let go, but I do think Karen Reed is going to be fine. I feel badly that she has to go through this like all over again, but literally there wasn't even a box for them to check off that said not guilty. I mean, come on. I mean, it was ridiculous. The whole thing with that was ridiculous. And everybody's excuse, you know, the 3 people that was involved, you know, their excuses were it was butt dialing. So all this going back and forth while she was just at home, right? All this going back and forth with the butt dialing. Well, the husband and wife, and the husband, by the way, was a police officer, or is actually, I think he still is a police officer for now anyways. You know, their excuse, their alibi of how they couldn't have been the one to, you know, murder the policeman there was that they were in bed being intimate. Well, but they were butt dialing. Does that make sense? And then, you know, then you have the ATF agent running, you know, down to Cape, you know, to where we have one of our military bases, and getting rid of the phone. You have, you know, that husband and wife, you know, because the officer that died did have the bite marks from the dog, and you know, they rehomed the dog. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And here's Karen Reed, you know, a professor at Bentley College, and, you know, just ridiculous. No, I think she will be found innocent. That has not changed. My heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to actually pretty much everybody in this situation, because I mean, she has not been able to grieve her fiance passing, and his family is going through hell and back. You know, I mean, this isn't fair on anybody. This isn't easy on anybody, but the mishandling of everything, you know, like the tail light wasn't broken until the officer turned off the camera, his body cam, for 45 minutes, turns it back on. Oh, now we have a broken tail light. I mean, like, it's so much. I mean, it was just day after day of insanity. I feel so sorry for that woman. Even though one of the people that commented did call me stupid and she just couldn't watch me anymore. And I was like, that's fine, block. It's fine to disagree with me, but it's also, as you guys know, I keep the vibes high. You know, there's enough bad things going on in the world. We can still be loving and kind to each other. A light worker asks, most media is relentlessly pressing Biden to step down as the Democratic candidate. Will this sway voters? What is Biden going to do? I do not believe Biden is going to step down, but I do think he may change vice president. So let's take a look if Biden's going to step down. I'll pull the cards. I've done this several times off camera. I do a lot off camera just to kind of get, a good idea. Sometimes, like I told you guys, I watch the news for like 15 minutes, and that's about all I'm willing to give it. But I will sit there with my deck and, see what I'm getting and what I'm feeling and what the cards have to say. Emperor. Okay, so here's Biden. The Emperor, and it's also a 4. A 4 means that you've built a strong foundation for yourself, right? Any building has 4 corners to it that makes the foundation. The Emperor is strong. He's masculine. This is a very masculine energy. It's a strong energy. It's an energy of leadership, okay? His obstacle, people are still just going to try putting him down. 5 of Pentacles, right? There's still going to be people that are saying, oh, he's too old, he's not well, he's not this, he's not that. And so, but we knew that. We knew that. And there'll be a lot of going back and forth, but this is also 7 of Pentacles. This is a card of reaping what you have sown. And Biden has been in office in some capacity for like what? As long as I've been alive, I think. He's reaping what he has sown, and it's good. It's good. He does have a battle ahead of him. 5 of Swords, right? But if I take the card from the bottom, 10 of Pentacles. That's always a yes card. That means yes, people are going to financially back him. I mean, look at all the donations that are coming in for him. I mean, that debate really actually benefited him in some ways. A lot of people are now like, ride or die Biden, and they've really put their money where their mouth is. Valor none. First of all, if I say anybody's name wrong, I'm sorry. A while ago, I had a video where I talked about my younger years, like being a ballerina. You know what? I think the best video. Oh, you're a fellow New Englander? Welcome. Hi. Look at the interview I did with Kevin Moore. Kevin Moore. That was a great one. And I did some channeling on that too. And I do talk about, my past work, because I did spend like the first half of my life in the ballet world. I did transition into being a dementia practitioner. But, when I started, at the age of 14, I did start doing some work for the government, working in think tanks and giving predictions and things like that. And as you guys know, I do specialize in 20 years out. And so that's why when I say to you, don't worry, I mean it. I like this. Bearded millennial. Further to another viewer's question about DeSantis. Oh, Lord. Will the Florida governorship go blue as a result of the election in 2026? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's see. I would not be surprised. I do see a lot of shifts happening. I really do. And I do see a lot of the states that have been red either becoming purple or blue. I do see some changes here, guys. Okay. To be determined. All right, 2 of Swords. All right, so, but the thing with the 2 of Swords is, okay, yeah, there's a decision to be made, right? But people need to take their blindfolds off and to see reality for what it is. Is DeSantis really the best choice? Is a Republican really the best choice? Is Florida flourishing, under that regime. Obstacle? Okay, a lot of people are going to be crying over spilt milk. 5 of Cups. Let's see who it is that's crying. So a lot of darkness, a lot of disillusionment, a lot of lies, a lot of deception. But I also think DeSantis is sort of like a master of that. People feeling kind of burdened and oppressed. A bit of wheeling and dealing, but more people coming together. I do think, you know, the Republican Party is going to keep funding, you know, Floridian candidates. And if I take the card at the bottom of the deck, I do get the 3 of Swords. So I don't think Florida's going to change anytime soon. So, yeah. But you know what though? Energies can change. You're asking me to look 2 years out into the future, okay? Very, very few things are actually set in stone. If it was, what would be the point of having an incarnation, right? If everything was already preset and determined, what's the point of even being here? So what I would say is we can influence this. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. So get out and vote, talk to people, you know, rally people, that sort of thing. Oh, this is a great question, Lightworker. 45's plane was at Dulles side by side with the Russian embassy staff plane for 2 days in an isolated part of the airport. Okay, what was going on? When I saw that, I was just like, you know how sometimes you see something and you just get like that psychic hit, like, and it just kind of like comes like full force at you? All I could see was like information going back and forth, but more of like Russian information going towards 45. There's like an obligation that he needs to fulfill. There is something that they're expecting of him. There is something that they are wanting of him. I mean, it would greatly benefit Vlad for 45 to get into office. Absolutely. Absolutely. But let's take a look here. Okay, King of Wands. So this does have to do with business information, right? Something that these parties are very passionate and enthusiastic about. They have a vested interest in. Obstacle, ruthless battle. I think the Russians are ready to fight and do whatever they need to do to try to get 45 back into office. You know, from their point of view, they need him in there because he's crooked, you know? 8 of Cups. You know, this is the card of like walking away, but nothing's really lost. But it's also in the middle of the night. Things are kind of dark, a bit unclear, little shady here. They were definitely talking about the presidency. King of Cups is my card for Biden. And if I look at the bottom of the deck, 9 of Swords, stress, worry, anxiety. There is a lot of pressure being put on 45 to win this and to actually become the president. So, I liked this question. I like your name, by the way, Old Rooster. I thought that was great. About what year did this shifting of our collective consciousness towards the age of Aquarius begin? This is something that I definitely talk about in membership because it comes out when I channel, you know, into other entities, whether it's angels or the Ra Collective. So that's something we've talked about extensively in membership. About what year did Spirit see or tell the psychics this was coming? I'm a curious Gemini. I'm thinking as a human non-psychic around 2006 or 2013. 2012 is what I've always gotten in channeling. 2012 was a shift for us that could have gone in a lot of different directions. It could have actually prevented a 45 presidency, but not enough people were in service to others, right? They weren't ready to be harvested, as the Ra would say, or to go through the awakening process, to go through ascension. And so that's how it ended up getting dragged out. So 2012, like they're saying like, oh, the world's going to end. No, the world wasn't going to end. It's just that, we had the chance to ascend, but not enough people were ready yet, okay? So I'm going to end it there. I answered a lot of questions over these last two videos. I'm going to do this one more time, the Witchlings Oracle deck. Like I said, if you guys like a good book with your Oracle cards, I mean, look at the size of this book. And it has like all kinds of like instructional and informational things and definitions, like what different herbs and gemstones and oils to use, and what is an aura, how to take a cleansing bath, all that good stuff. So take a deep breath. Let's end on a high note. Let's end on a good note, guys. And just ask yourself, what does the universe want me to know today? What message do I need? And always go with your gut. I'm just going to take the top 3 cards. Okay. So which one are you feeling? 1, 2, or 3? Here we go. First card is intuition. Love that. The power of intuition will light your path, providing a connection to the divine. So listen to those little ideas that you get, that little feeling that like say your gut instinct, that little feeling you get, that little voice that sometimes says, do this, don't do that. Open your third eye chakra, see that beautiful indigo light coming out. Work with some crystals, do some meditation, work on your intuition. And by the way, if that's something that you're serious about, I do have a class on psychic development in membership that's on demand. Number 2, patience. Nurture the seeds of patience and reap the rewards of personal achievement. Sometimes it's so hard to be patient, isn't it, right? But sometimes if something was to happen when you wanted it to, it would have been a disaster, right? Say if you had gotten into your car at that time when you were supposed to, maybe you would have gotten into a car accident and things would have changed. Or, you really just want to get into that relationship, but, that guy just isn't good. He's not good for you. It'd be a disaster. Have patience, trust in divine timing. And this one's beautiful. Dreams. Love that. Dreams are an expression of collective experiences combined with messages from the spirit world. I've had a lot of you guys recently talking to me, and I did see something in the astrology about dreams for right now, that this July in particular is a good time to have prophetic dreams. So start paying attention to your dreams. Sometimes they are prophetic. Sometimes they can lead you to answers, lead you on your path, help you on your journey, okay? So, all right, everybody, it was a pleasure doing this video. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment, hit the join button if you want to become a member. And if you do want a reading, DianaAquarius.com. All right, everybody, have a great 4th. Bye-bye.